Hi everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, and most of us don't focus on that placement. But this placement is significant with respect to your professional success, your growth, how happy you are with your professional achievements, and of course, your inner talents. Today we are focusing on the placement of Ketu, South Node in Dashamsha, which is the D10 division of your horoscope. It's a chart which is so significant with respect to your professional field, your career, your success, your finances, overall growth, achievements, and of course it signifies the blessings and the challenges you witness in your professional path. So why we need to focus on Ketu? What Ketu signifies in Dashamsha? Have you ever seen a comet, like for real, in the sky, maybe in a picture, maybe in a movie? It's a glowing ball of light which is actually made of dust and ice, but you can see a long tail of the comet. It leaves this long tail lingering behind, as if it wants to be in touch with the places it's leaving behind, as if it's collecting something precious from the previous areas. Comets were formed when the solar system was formed. They're so ancient. They have witnessed every planet, how it was formed, everything what happened here. So they carry information, they carry the memory of the creation. And in the same way, Ketu carries the memory of you. It represents the DNA, the information you carry in your DNA. Not just the physical, but the emotional experiences as well. Ketu shows the past journey of your soul, the talents you developed over the past lives, what you experienced, the area which was very important, a part of your life, that area where you were working the most. That is what Ketu is. So Ketu in Dashamsha signifies, number one, inner talents. Those talents which are lying dormant within you, and you have to access them in this journey. Unless you don't access those talents, you will feel very dissatisfied in the professional path. And on the other hand, Ketu does indicate blocks in your professional journey, the obstacles. Ketu is about obstacle, especially when it comes to the career. And the best remedy for Ketu is worshipping Ganesha. That's the best remedy to remove all kinds of blocks from your path. So Ketu in Dashamsha shows your hidden talents, inner potential, and the inner block. Ketu can show internal, external obstacles both in your professional journey, but mainly it is the inner block, the inner struggle, the dissatisfaction we experience. And we have to address these blocks, because when we don't address these blocks, we are just sitting at one place, not growing, doing nothing. So let's see what Ketu represents in Dashamsha. This video, this analysis is done as per the house placements of Ketu, and a lot can be different for you depending upon if some planet is placed along with Ketu in your Dashamsha, in which sign Ketu is placed, and where is the dispositor of the Ketu in the Dashamsha. Suppose Ketu is in Aries, so you have to see where Mars is placed in the Dashamsha. So many things are required to be checked and assessed. So let's get started. Ketu in the first house of the Dashamsha clearly indicates the very initiation of your professional journey, your career path. It's not easy, and there is more of internal struggle. You may take a lot of time to figure out what you truly want to pursue as your profession, what kind of interest you have, and what makes you happy. So this could be taken as two things. First, lack of initiative from yourself. I'm not saying that you're lazy, you don't want to do anything. The Ketu here indicates confusion and not enough clarity what you want to do professionally and from where to start your professional journey. The second point is that maybe you know what you want to do, but you're not getting the right opportunity. But the best part is Ketu over here gives some kind of inherent talent. I was mentioning this in the intro. Ketu represents the process of transmutation. So you may have a certain interest, you may have a certain skill set. It may take some time to figure out how can I use it and transform it into a different skill set, because exactly what you know cannot be applied in the professional path. So polishing that skill, how to use it, how to define it, you may take some time. Usually with this placement, it takes time to get clarity in your professional journey, but once you know what you want, once you embark on this journey of pursuing a great profession, you will see a lot of development, because Ketu enhances the intuition, it enhances the inner knowing. What should I do at every step? That inner wisdom kicks in. It gives you that intuitive insights. Okay, I can do this, I can do that. And the only difficult part I see with this placement is dissatisfaction. In the Dashamsha Ketu in the first house, even in the 10th house, it leads to a lot of dissatisfaction. Even if you have a lot in your hands and still there's a feeling of no, it's not sufficient, it's not up to the mark. Ketu in the first house of the Dashamsha is indicating that it's your mindset, it's how you react to situations, your thinking process. Maybe it's also your physical health, which may become a block in your professional journey. So how you need to change yourself is changing your thinking pattern, how you take initiative for things. You don't have to let yourself down. That is the best thing you can do for yourself, and you are the one who will initiate everything, you are the one who may block everything. So you have the power to rise again and do your work. Ketu in the second house of the Dashamsha, it indicates that in this journey you may try to run away from what others want you to do professionally. You may have a certain lineage where most people are in a certain profession. Maybe they are doctors, maybe they are into business, and Ketu here makes one like a black sheep, someone who is very different in the entire family. Like people transforming into musicians, but the entire family is into science, scientific research, they're into medicine. So you go absolutely in a different direction from others professionally, and one does not see enough support coming through the family when it comes to your profession. And also the finances are challenged with this placement. It's not that you will never have financial stability, but to start with, to to create that foundation, that preparation in your professional journey, where you go to a school and then you go for higher learning. In that process, to pursue your dream, there's not enough resources in your hands. And the Ketu over here also indicates inherent talent regarding beauty. You have inherent talent to enhance the beauty, the value of things, and you may further use it in your profession. Some link to aesthetics might be there, that transformation, makeovers of people. It could be transformation of money, it could be transformation of a very significant aspect of people's life, which brings more value. So with this placement of Ketu, one definitely struggles to collect wealth, to save more money. Okay, and definitely a talent, like a reservoir of talents associated to enhancing the beauty or the worth of something. Further, with this placement, do not compare your success, your achievements, your value with others, because you may see great value in everyone, whatever they are doing in their professional journey, but you challenge your own net worth, your value. I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about talents. So, trusting one's talent is a struggle, and also it may create distance between you and your family. You may live away from your family to earn a living, to get a job. So Ketu in the second house of the Dashamsha, it could be that the family, the family's point of views, or where you are born, that place, that set of people are not very helpful and conducive towards your professional growth. So that's why you may establish distance to find your true worth. As I said, Ketu is about transmutation. Okay, like changing the energy, changing one situation into another, so that it can help you to achieve more clarity. So with this, whatever setbacks you go through in the family life, that challenge, you use it as the motivation to transform yourself into a more financially and a very capable person, financially strong and professionally. Also, you may go for a work where it's not just your talent but your personality, the person who you are, is itself an asset. Ketu in the third house of the Shamsha indicates the biggest block in your professional journey is the indecision you may face in this life. Confusion, sometimes lack of courage, lack of initiative. Because this is the house which will determine the courage, the confidence you have in your professional decisions. This house is so significant if you go for an interview, how you present yourself, how you speak. Okay, so speech is, the communication is so important, and this house may create struggles if there is not a suitable placement here, especially when you interact, when you demonstrate your skills and your experience. So the Ketu shows the withdrawal over here. The initial block is lack of expression sometimes, and Ketu here also indicates that you have mastered the observation, understanding the psychology, understanding other people's words. mastered in decoding the data, how to tabulate information. You have that skill. You have been working on it since many lifetimes. But there is still hesitation to speak up and to open up to the world. So it's not that you cannot understand minute details, but you're unable to express it. People with displacement do have certain struggles with the throat chakra, immunity issues. So over here, Ketu is what? Ketu is about transmutation, transforming one kind of situation, energy into another. The initiation and the ending, yes, the Ketu rules over these two things, but it is also shifting your energy. It's about changing the state of energy. So over here you have to transform your silence, lack of expression, into something creative. It could be writing, it could be you being an expert in technology, mastery in certain things where the manual skills are required. Okay, so Ketu will help you a lot with the observation. And the block is again lack of expression, lack of communication, lack of confidence. With this placement, how can you get rid of the obstacles in your professional journey? You have to make short-term plans. You don't have to think about long-term goals and to worry a lot about the future. Just focus on the present and focus on how you can do your work for a short period of time with great interest and focus. Ketu in the fourth house of the Dashamsha indicates a very deep need of security with respect to your career, your finances, and in search of this security, one tends to leave the home. Okay, in order to find a home, one may leave the home, and for a lot of people, this could also be relocating, moving from one country to another from a very young age. Disconnection from parents or disconnection from the home, and it led to the need to find more emotional and even financial security. So for your work, you may move away from your homeland. You may not find enough growth and success in the place where you were born. You may see struggles over there, and one is very concerned about the job security. That is what you want. And this is also about finding a career which is more satisfying emotionally, mentally. It's very important that you follow a path which gives you a sense of fulfillment and happiness. Like how a child is happy with a certain hobby or happy with a certain activity, for you that happiness, that joy is significant. So you may start working at one place and slowly you may feel that it's not very satisfying. That emotional connection with what you are doing, it's important. And as I mentioned, Ketu is about transmutation. Okay, so what are you transmutating in this life? All the emotional struggles, the sorrows, or the detachment you might have witnessed from others. You are using all of that and you are transforming it into some kind of a creative work. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's a startup. It's something creative. You will feel so happy in showing your creative side to the world. All the emotional challenges are transformed into something very beautiful, moon like. Moon is also connected to creativity, or it's about using those challenges and trying to heal others, help others. Maybe it's by working in the field of medicine and healing, and then you release all that difficult experiences. Ketu in the fifth house of the Shamsha clearly indicates a major block in learning. Whether it's the fifth house of Dashamsha, whether it's the fifth house of Rashi, these houses are very significant with respect to learning potential. It's about intelligence as well. So, Ketu in this house shows disconnect, lack of interest in the very traditional schooling systems. Whatever is being taught, you may not show enough interest. You may love a certain subject, you may love a certain creative activity. So there's a major disconnect with respect to learning, and one may also follow a professional path which is very different from what you might have learned in school. So Ketu in the fifth house is about going with your passion somewhere. Maybe that passion was blocked by others. Ketu here doesn't mean that okay, this person is not intelligent, but the intelligence is being suppressed by others. Okay, your intelligence is not being supported, your decisions are not being supported. So you were being given a task, okay, you learn this, you pursue this, but it all happens with a lot of confusion. So this is the house of potential, and Ketu clearly indicates something creative, or even not just creative, but it could be anything. The sign in which the Ketu is placed, one may have talents with respect to that sign. Suppose Ketu is in Libra, so there is inherent ability to design, to create something with respect to the costumes, with respect to movie making. If the Ketu over here is in, suppose, Virgo, one may have a great interest towards healing sciences. So Ketu in the fifth house, they go for very unconventional professions which are not being followed by a lot of people. A very rare kind of field, a very few people will make up to that profession, very rare kind of work. And also, the biggest block with the Ketu here is people creating struggles for you, because fifth house needs to be good in the Shamsha if you want support, if you want people who are very happy to see the good in you. So one may see politics at the workplace with this placement of Ketu. And when you see people not respecting you, you may start creating struggles for your own self. The moment you see disrespect, from that very moment, the internal struggles will block you from doing your best. So you have to take care of your confidence. With this placement of Ketu in the fifth house of the Shamsha, what you can do is to look back when you were a child, and which hobby, which activity you really enjoyed, you loved it, and going back to that, pursuing it, will give you a lot of happiness, because ultimately you do look for joy through your work. And when you connect with those previous interests, and hobbies, you will see success. Ketu in the sixth house of the Shamsha clearly indicates one may deal with a lot of obstacles in the professional journey. These obstacles could be coming through the competitors, it could be coming through difficult setup at the work front, a very difficult work environment, a challenging work atmosphere. It could also be, again, it's about mind, it's about what you think is the biggest obstacle, the way you react to a certain situation, your thinking, the mind process. It may also become a block. Sometimes we don't have enemies, but it's our mind which is the biggest enemy. So there are blocks, both internal and external, with this placement. A lot depends upon in which sign the Ketu is and where that planet is sitting, the planet which rules the sixth house of the Shamsha. So Ketu brings the obstacles, and one may tend to quit things, leave the things behind when the competition is very challenging, when you cannot fight with it or you feel weak. You tend to leave these things behind. So what you have to learn with this placement is when to fight back and pursue what you were doing, and when to quit and leave things behind. Because Ketu is about disconnection, but Ketu is also the transmutation. Whatever is dead, whatever is not working for you, you can transform it into something good and important for yourself. Transforming all the adversities into something great, like a blessing. So Ketu may push you to sometimes quit very quickly. And even if you have worked very hard, because this is a house of hard work as well, you feel that you're not getting the right respect, the right treatment for what you are doing. So what you may do, you're doing everything, you have done great, and when the time comes to achieve a reward, at the very moment you leave and quit that workplace. So sometimes it's more of self-destructive. So you have to work a lot on your patience. The more you work on your patience and resilience, the more you succeed with this placement. And trusting your hard work, trusting what you are doing is important. And one may deal with a workplace where you feel very lethargic. It impacts the physical body as well. You might work in a setup related to hospitals, maybe a setup connected to finances, and the work is very draining in nature, it's very demanding in nature. Ketu in the seventh house of the Shamsha shows disconnection. When it comes to collaborations, contracts, either there is not enough trust between you and the other person, or simply whatever association and partnership you create with respect to your business or work, it doesn't works. It doesn't go on a long-term basis. It creates trust issues. So if you are in a setup where you have to work along with someone, or you have to work along with the people, the public, you may feel a bit withdrawn from others. You feel a bit dissatisfied, or You feel that you're not receiving enough support from the other people, or you feel uncomfortable by revealing your information to the public, to the other people. That ability to mix up and connect with others, work along with others. Because having Ketu here in the seventh house in the Dashamsha, somewhere it shows past life patterns where you have seen this connection. You have been challenged by others in such a way that it broke your trust. So you may have trust issues in this journey. But on the other hand, Ketu here shows great talent, great potential with respect to anything which is about creating something for the masses. With this placement, there's a deep need to be accepted wherever you are working, and even if it's your business, you want to be accepted through your work. Okay, and when that doesn't reciprocate, because ultimately seventh house is a lot about give and take and the justice. So when that doesn't happen, it disappoints you. So you really need to trust your work. You have to trust your efforts, whatever you are doing. You don't have to constantly calculate and measure what you are giving and what you are receiving in return of your efforts. There's a deep fear of being judged by others through your work, maybe how you appear at the work front, the appearance, the personality. And as I mentioned, Ketu is about transmutation. It also shows some talents which are dormant within you. So again, you have to transmutate that insecurity, that feeling of not being understood by others. And that transmutation happens through trusting your work. You're doing your hard work, you're doing every bit, just trusting it. Acceptance starts from you, how you accept your work, and that will be visible in the daily life, in the real life as well. And the talent which is there within you is about giving justice to something, to create or to work in such a way that it just looks fabulous. Whatever it is, the quality is unmatched. You can see the both sides of a situation, both sides of a same coin, and you know how to balance, how to make it more wonderful. It could be artistic ability, it could be your ability to negotiate things. That is the talent you carry. Ketu in the 8th house of Dashamsha, well, it's a challenging placement because for a lot of years of your life, you are not visible. People may see superficially, yes, you are talented, you have something special about you, but yet you are not shining, you're not there, you are not fully visible, your potential is not visible, and there's a lot of shyness as well. You're not very open to show yourself completely to the world. Maybe lack of confidence, or maybe some fear is there. So the biggest challenge with this placement is to dissolve the fears you have. It could be of anything, facing the public, or lack of confidence, or some kind of trust issue. Ketu here leads to a lot of suppression of talent, of your personality, of your identity. And then eventually this is the house of rebirth, and Ketu is about that rebirth and transmutation. So when you take that rebirth, when you are transformed, it's like a miracle. Like, people will be surprised by your success, they will be surprised by your talents and who you truly are. So it's like a diamond all hidden in the coal mine. It needs to be polished, and the polishing process is to remove all the personal doubts, fears, shyness, any kind of guilt. It's not about the guilt one experiences because of doing some mistake, but it's a guilt which you collect when constantly you are being suppressed by others, being shamed by others without any reason. So it takes a lot of time, because this is a placement where one has to develop a spiritual quotient. You have to dive deeper in your own self, and one may show interest in such fields which are different, very different, which might be considered as taboo, or people are not openly talking about those aspects of life. And also one may develop interest in occult, astrology, hidden sciences, and may pursue it as profession. Great researchers can be found with this placement, the ability to look into deep details. The only challenge which comes from Ketu here is unexpected blocks in the professional journey. Some situation may happen and you are in a state of fear, you're paralyzed in fear. Now what I need to do? So you have to learn to face the challenges. There's a lot of worry with respect to the consequences of challenges. Instead of worrying about the consequences, facing those challenges, not withdrawing from those challenges, is important. Ketu in the ninth house of the Dashamsha indicates the major obstacle you may deal with in your professional journey is lack of opportunities. Maybe you are getting the opportunities very quickly, but those opportunities are not aligned with your talent or what you require. Maybe for these opportunities you have to leave something behind, you have to leave your comfort zone behind, you have to take a risk. So Ketu shows struggles with the opportunities and how to utilize those work opportunities, and it may take you to a very different place to pursue your higher education. It may give struggles sometimes in the higher education. It may take you to a place where the language is very different. You may struggle with the language, or you may show interest in learning different languages. Teaching languages can be a very great trait of yours. Learning about philosophy, literature, deep knowledge of literature, this is something you have developed within since many journeys. The talent to understand different belief systems, philosophy, literature. So you will do very well in the field of teaching. There's a very smooth inherent flow of knowledge in you, and how you convey that knowledge to other people. And you really have to work also a lot with respect to your spiritual practice. If you have certain blocks within, emotional blocks within you, it's very difficult to pursue your profession in a smooth way. So your spiritual practice will help you a lot in your professional journey as well, to eliminate all the blocks and to eliminate all the challenges. And as I mentioned, Ketu is about transmutation, changing, transforming a certain knowledge, transforming a certain energy into a different form. Whatever is not, it's not working for you, you need to transform it into something beautiful. So all the knowledge you have, all the information you have, whatever you have learned in this life, Ketu will help you to bring every piece of information together. You know how to use all of that knowledge and wisdom very wisely. You might have learned a different subject, you might be pursuing a different career from it, but the wisdom, the growth you have attained with that experience of learning, you can apply it anywhere, you can use it anywhere. That is the magic of Ketu in the ninth house. Ketu in the 10th house of the Dashamsha, it shows a block with respect to decision making at the work front. Ketu here can give you powerful positions at the work front. It's not denying that. It gives you that authority, but to stay in that authority is a challenge. Your decisions are being analyzed by other people. You are in a place where everyone is watching your actions, what decision you're making, and that will impact a lot of people. Ketu over here, this is the house of how you are standing in front of the other people, how they view you through your work, through your authority, through your abilities. So Ketu here gives dissatisfaction at the work front. It's like no matter how much you do, you don't see that validation, approval, or support coming back to you. Maybe you are in a place of authority and power where you know your decision may impact a lot of people, and what Ketu creates here is confusion. How to take an action and how to execute that action. With this placement, one may see sometimes break in the career path. And a lot of times it's a break which is taken because of the dissatisfaction, where you feel that you have reached to a point of stagnation, like it's not working financially, it's not giving you that growth beyond a certain level, or simply there is dissatisfaction of constantly following that monotonous lifestyle and doing that very same work again and again. So Ketu here sometimes creates the detachment from that very heavy working atmosphere. It becomes very draining as well. Ketu here also indicates that you are someone who has been in authoritative roles from your previous journeys, worked very hard, worked in a very difficult environment, and there is a need to run away and to disconnect from very difficult work schedules. So one may even give up great titles here, one may give up great positions with this placement to find that inner peace. And also with this placement, one may try to find out a certain way of, I would say, happiness, finding a work which can give you some relaxation, some time for personal growth as well. Like there's a challenge with respect to distinguish between the identity of you being at home, you being at the workplace. There's no difference now. What you feel at the work front, you also feel that at your home as well. There is not enough difference between these two aspects of life, because there's so much of indulgence in the work. So that the need of comfort is significant with this placement. And Ketu is about transmutation. So over here, you have to find out what makes you feel important. It's not the title at the work front, but what you want to experience in this life, what you want to follow. It could be certain interest, it could be something, a personal goal you want to achieve. So to find out that and work towards it, because Ketu here clearly indicates running from being in authoritative position and to be someone who is relaxed and more focused towards inner self. Ketu in the 11th house of Dashamsha. This is the house of fulfillment. This is the house of gains through your career, income, rewards. So one tends to disconnect from the reward. Over here, you may want to, experience happiness. You want to experience the passion, whatever you are doing in your professional journey. You want to live it, you want to experience it, you want to be so soaked into that the Ketu shows I don't care for money. Or it could be that you are settling for a work which you are so happy about, and it's like a dream to you, but it's not paying you enough, because it's so important for you to be there to do that work. Maybe it's a humanitarian work, you want to work for others, but it's not a very high paying job. So one doesn't care about money, or simply it's just that you're working a lot but you're not getting enough. And this could also be a profession. You're doing it in such a wonderful manner, and it brings in a lot of wealth beyond measure, because Ketu, it doesn't know any limits. It's difficult to save that money. You may get a lot and it's difficult to save. So Ketu in this house, it creates struggles with the long-term goals. It makes you someone who is very unique in your professional journey. You're always doing something different. Like if we have 10 professionals in the same field, the one with the Ketu in the 11th house is very unconventional, may do things very differently, out of the box thinking. Okay, it doesn't fit in society. And when you have that approach of going forward with your subject, with your field, then it's difficult to find that right opportunity which can pay you and give you success. So Ketu here creates a block with the consistent growth in your finances. It's not blocking your money, but it blocks the consistent flow of money or the consistent success. You see certain blocks here. And it is also about transmutation, as I always mention. So here, all the talent, all the potential you have, you use it for the betterment of the world. You do your work so uniquely, in such a different manner, that you will always stand out. Ketu in the 12th house of Dashamsha. Ketu here creates the challenge of sometimes not knowing what to do in this lifetime. You may pursue one goal and then suddenly you will change your direction. You may learn something. The struggle is completion. You may start a project today, you may not finish it, you may move into some different project, and then another. The completion takes a lot of time. You may start with some work today, and after 10 years you may come back and you will say, no, I want to do this only. You may try so many different things in the span of those 10 years, and then you may come back, no, I want to go back from where I started. So a lot of changes happen with Ketu here, and the only obstacle I do see is the confusion or the need to constantly change the direction of your professional journey, following a lot of different things, multitasking sometimes. And Ketu will take you to a place which is different with respect to the culture, with respect to people, going in a very stranger place and working there to fulfill your dreams. There are a lot of dreams with this placement, but you don't know from where to start with, how to do it. Like, a lot of time goes into this phase of thinking, observing, planning, but lack of execution, lack of ultimately, performing and doing your work. And Ketu over here is a dreamer. There's a lot which you want to create or achieve, but sometimes it may look very impractical to other people. It's just that whatever you want to do, it needs planning, it needs a proper strategy. The best part is the intuition. The best part is your ideas. You have a very different way of thinking, and Ketu is about transmutation, transformation. So these ideas, this creativity, the imagination, the intuition, when it comes together, it creates beautiful things in life. So you may have most amazing ideas. All you have to do is to transform them into practical plans. One may not thoroughly enjoy a profession which is about sitting at one place and working for long hours. You need that freedom, that pause in life. Whenever you work, you need that pause. This placement, one definitely needs isolation to work. Whatever work you are doing, it requires maybe silence, maybe a different place, seclusion to work. And you can do very well in the field of healing, or a field which is connected to taking care of people who are unprivileged or they have certain disabilities. You may have some compassion for such people. There's a lot of compassion within, and sometimes that compassion blocks you from understanding others at the work front, who needs your compassion, who needs your care, and who doesn't need your care and compassion. That understanding needs to be taken care of.